He showed up with a 10-point plan on the economy, and he only used the word woke once. Will it make a difference?
I mean, this is DeSantis trying to become the candidate that donors want to support. He's had a major issue, both in getting enough money to fuel his campaign. He laid off a third of his staff last week. He's also getting a lot of flack from members of his party, from other donors who say, "Hey, we want you to focus on economic policy issues. We want you to not just go out and berate Disney and talk about LGBTQ issues. We want you to have a message that gets people to vote for you." This is now one speech. I talked with a bunch of donors this afternoon, those of whom were staying on the sidelines for now. This is not enough to get them off the sidelines, but they said this was a positive first step, and they want to see the campaign continue to move in this direction.
Right, and they also want to see how he performs, of course, the end of August, the debate stage. Interesting in that New York Times poll where you see Trump just crushing the competition. DeSantis, though, in second place. Yet, what the poll shows that even if all those candidates disappeared and Mr. DeSantis got a hypothetical one-on-one race against Trump, he would still lose by a 2-to-1 margin, 62% to 31%. This is if it was going to be Trump versus DeSantis. Does that not spook donors at all? Should they start getting in the ear of the former president at this point?
That spooks donors. It also really spooks, the DeSantis campaign itself, looking at these numbers and saying, that we, what the campaign goes out and said, look, we're the only person that can possibly take on Trump. But when you look at these numbers, that people they're much more attached to Trump than they are to DeSantis, and that's going to be a problem going forward. The DeSantis campaign is really hoping that Trump's legal problems bring him down. So far, that's not been the case. I mean, there's still potentially, 2 more indictments yet to come down the pike, but you see Trump doing better in the polls, doing better in fundraising after those indictments, not worse.
Well, I mentioned the 10-point plan. There was actually some policy in there, including a knock on the Fed. And Ron DeSantis says if he's elected president, he will rein in the Fed. And referenced, he didn't use the word woke, but progressive ESG-related things that he thinks the Fed has lost its focus on controlling prices.
Pretty sharp commentary on the Fed by any candidate. You would have thought, making the point, of course, as you just mentioned, that he would be willing to replace the governor. Now, I suppose if the Fed was to pull off a soft landing, then they would broadly have the public on their side. But if they get this wrong, it won't be just Ron DeSantis who's out for the Fed. They will lose a lot of credibility. But either way, the Fed wants to be politically neutral. They don't want to be in the middle of this political fight. They will probably be surprised to see them featuring in the way that they did in this speech. But I'm not sure how many votes there will be in Fed bashing. But as I say, we'll see if they pull off that soft landing or not.
Well, what about the union votes? And I mentioned that today because Yellow, this truck maker, is filing for bankruptcy. They're pretty much ceasing operations. This is nearly 30,000 jobs at risk. President Joe Biden, if he's up against DeSantis, isn't this something that any Republican can use against him? You're supposed to be the most pro-union Labor Party leader in modern times. That's what the White House likes to say, but 22,000 labor jobs will be lost.
Yeah, there are idiosyncratic issues with that company in terms of how they board and how they've, hedged those loans. They're obviously getting hurt hard by high interest rates right now, but you would if it is symptomatic of something broader that's going to happen in terms of these companies will start suffering from high interest rates over coming months, and of course will start letting staff go. That will, of course, hurt the president, no doubt about it. But as I say, right here, right now, there are some idiosyncrasies with this company. It was well known this pain was coming. Last week, don't forget, they pulled off that deal with UPS, which I'm sure the government would be pretty happy with. So I think a little bit to go yet in terms of how the Fed story does play out with companies and staff.
Of course, the White House never got involved in the UPS deal, Annmarie, and you're right. The president likes to say this is the most pro-union labor White House in modern history. 22,000 of these jobs are Teamsters.
And Yellow asked the Biden administration to get involved.
So that's where things start to get a little sticky. And I know the White House sees or saw Yellow as a company that had a lot of its own financial struggles here. But, Laura, this is easy stuff to turn into a narrative against the White House.
This really is. And the other thing that's going on in the background with Yellow is they received a bunch of pandemic funds from the Federal Reserve, from the Treasury Department.
Worth.
And so it's a perfect talking point for Republicans to go back and say, look, we spent too much money. We gave it to companies that didn't deserve it, to people that didn't deserve it. And this is what happens when government steps in and it just strings along a company that was bound to fail. Market economics. It's a perfect talking point for Republicans who want to point that out.
All right. Speaking of another talking point to Republicans, you kind of lead us right there. The big story on the Hill today was was this behind-scenes closed hearing, which at some point we'll get a transcript of Hunter Biden's close associate and friend. Lawmakers reacted to that testimony from one of Hunter Biden's former business associates. Democratic Congressman Daniel Goldman explains the impact on President Biden. Take a listen.
There is not a shred of evidence of a single conflict of interest of President Biden ever doing anything in connection or in relation to Hunter Biden's business ventures other than advocating for the removal of a prosecutor general who was advantageous to Burisma.
Okay, so if you're just tuning in and trying to understand what's going on, House Republicans wanted to talk to this individual to understand if Joe Biden, they think this guy could potentially be a smoking gun to show that the president was connected to his son's business dealings. Did they succeed?
And so far from the evidence here, no, but House Republicans are going to pursue every single avenue. They've had the IRS whistleblowers. They've had all of these different folks who are willing to come in and talk about, did Hunter Biden receive special treatment? How was President Biden involved? And they've basically been given license from McCarthy to do this, who said, look, if we want to impeach Biden, we need to have more evidence. And so that means we will see, at least several more, if not dozens more hearings on Capitol Hill as they try to ferret out, is there anything that they can do to impeach? You have moderate Republicans who absolutely don't want that to happen. Freedom Caucus members on the other side who are really gunning for this, and that's going to be a central tension playing forward.